So I've been making Foxhole videos for just over 2 years, and I've been brainstorming ways I can give back to the community that's welcomed me with open arms and enjoyed the content on my channel. At first I thought about the podcast series, but it didn't fit the style of content that I primarily focused on. After months of coming up with ideas, I'm happy to announce a new series of Foxhole focused videos. I know the title pretty much gives it away, but I'm announcing the creation of the Foxhole Regiment Review series on the channel. I got this idea due to one main reason, and that's because there's a gap within the Foxhole game itself when it comes to advertising regiments. Sure, folks can throw in a quick recruitment ad and chat, but it's not super personal and lacks the kind of depth new players are looking for when deciding which regiment to join. New players may be able to get some additional details on certain regiments from the Foxhole official Discord under the clan recruitment channel, but they'd have to know that that even exists in the first place, and it's not exactly the easiest way for new players to see regiments in action. The ultimate goal for the series is to give back to the Foxhole community and partner with regiments on both the Colonial and Warren factions to help showcase what makes their Regi unique, what they mainly focus on for each war, and give potential newcomers a glimpse into the community of that particular regiment. In terms of structure for each of these videos, I'll cover some background of the regiment, talking about their history, which faction they're associated with, and what they mainly focus on. Next, I'll be interviewing members of the regiment to help give a first-hand look at the community that's associated with the regiment. You'll see what got each individual interested in the regiment itself, some memorable experiences, and new things they learned while being in the regiment. After the interviews, I'll then sit down with the leader of the Regi, where we cover what kind of person would fit well in the regiment, how the regiment stays organized and in touch, and when you can expect the regiment to be most active. There's plenty of other topics that'll be covered in these interviews, but those are some of the highlights. Finally, each Foxhole Regiment Review video will end with me embedded with that regiment during an operation. This is going to help showcase how the group operates together, and it'll give you an idea of what to expect if you're interested in joining the regiment. So with the structure of the video out of the way, let's dive straight into the first ever Foxhole Regiment Review. 420th Regiment is a relatively newer colonial-focused regiment, which formed in War 110 during the Battle of Scrying Belt. As the story goes, the regiment leader, Gator, was executed by a clanman after witnessing Gator shooting enemy infantry with a 30mm gun. That event sparked a fire within Gator and motivated him to start a community that isn't filled with absolute sweat lords and understands that Foxhole is just a game. Today, the 420th have amassed over 1,000 players in their ranks, capable of putting entire hexes into a queue and overwhelming enemy forces with their premier tactic, biomass. Their motto is, for the 420th, by the 420th, and the 420th always comes first. In terms of gameplay focus, the 420th do just about everything from mass infantry bonsai charges to tanking, naval, and large-scale artillery barrages. Because of the sheer amount of players in the 420th, the regiment is capable of standing up their own infrastructure, creating large facilities to pump out battle tanks or dockyards to construct long hooks and battleships. If you're looking to experience everything Foxhole has to offer, the 420th may be the right regiment for you.
Oh my god. Holy shit, Gremblo.
Oh, hey man, thank you. How long have you been playing Foxhole for? How long have you been playing?
Oh, how long have I been playing? 3 wars now?
4 years.
Oh man, I played the beta a long time ago when it first came out, and then I ended up not buying it at the time just because I was getting out of video games and doing some other stuff with my life. Realized that was a mistake, and then I just recently bought it again, so about 6 months ago.
Since War 97.
I think 2 years now.
I've been playing Foxhole since probably around the early days, like pre-full thing when we used to do like just hex battles and stuff. So I'd say pretty early, maybe not at the like start of the game, but very early on.
So I was in for the last day of not the in-between war, the one previous, and then in the previous war I met up with the 420s and they decided to teach me some stuff.
Okay, so you joined at War 118.
Yeah, we like had the last day of 118.
About exactly a year now. Pretty much this time last year is when I first joined.
Nice. And what got you interested in the 420th Regiment, and how'd you find them?
Well, so basically, one day there was this guy who was just like driving around in a truck. I don't remember his name. He's just like faceless 420th member, and he was like, "Yo, hop in the truck. We need help on an RD position." It's like bet, and this is like War 112. And then I pulled up on the artillery position, and there was Gator commanding like 12 fucking guns. It was ridiculous. And so I hopped in one of like the outer bardishes that we had there to like protect the flank. So I just sat on the like left side of the RD position, just like defending it. And yeah, that was my first like 420th stop.
Ironically, I've had the most 420th like way of getting recruited, where it's like someone just invited me and I just blindly like joined the regiment. Like, there was a part of me thinking like, this could be a bad idea, this could not be, I don't really know, I don't care. So I said yes. And then suddenly, after being a 420th, like, sergeant around the front, and I was like really fun, like really chill player, right? I had people straight up harass me because I was in the 420th, and they're like, you suck, you're in the 420th, you should join our regiment so you can suck less. And my response was, well, no, actually, since you guys are such assholes.
I was solo for a long time and grabbed the tank crew with Million, and we vibed it. Killed 7 warden tanks with 1 falchion.
Last war, when I was just running around doing nothing really. I was just messing around.
Yeah, so really didn't know much about the game other than, it was kind of a top-down game. There was some strategy stuff involved. I did not realize that there was like this. I didn't realize there was this much like facility stuff involved with it. And I'm a guy that likes Factorio. I like those kind of games. And a buddy of mine that I used to play Arma with was like, "Hey, come play Foxhole. I think you're gonna really like it. It'd be a really good experience for you." And so I was like, "Okay, cool." So I bought it, downloaded it, and that's how I got involved. He was already in 420th, kind of on the outskirts. Didn't really interact with the regiment a whole lot when he joined, and then once he got me involved, I kind of saw what the regiment was all about, what they were doing, what they were trying to accomplish, and hey, cool, let me pitch in, wherever I can. And so that's kind of how I got involved in the 420th. And towards the tail end of War 116, got involved with the fact stuff and really enjoy it. This is what I do for real life, is logistics, facility building, kind of that whole like all-encompassing thinking, 15 20 steps ahead, how this is going to work, how that's going to work. And I really enjoy my job. I really love it. So doing this really kind of came natural to me, and just kind of started taking over the fact stuff.
Honestly, would have been like War 15 wasn't too long ago. Took a break from Foxhole, just kind of let it cook and develop on for a little bit. And really the group I was with before kind of disbanded. So I didn't have a group, didn't care to come back in by myself, but War 15 with the naval stuff kind of got me interested again. And with that, I just stumbled across the 420th, got in their group, and I liked what they were about, being less restrictive as a group, but more of just, hey, here's the biomass of public players, let's organize and do something fun. And that's kind of the main premise.
I think I randomly got invited one day, and I wasn't a part of the regiment, and I was like, all right, let me just roll with this. And like, I enjoy community. I was kind of holding out for the right community, and they just picked me up, and I was like, all right, whatever, let me roll with it. And shit just kind of grew on me.
I saw a couple of them around. They all seemed like nice guys, and I wanted to learn as much as I could. They seemed to just help everybody.
I guess, would you say building is your main focus, or what do you like to focus on in game?
Kind of a 60-40 split. I like the backline, I like the logistics, but sometimes you've just got to get your hands dirty.
Oh, hell yeah. Just gotta stab a cunt in the neck, right?
Oh, definitely.
I enjoy doing infantry, but I do like doing factory work.
I build and tank mostly.
So basically, there's like 4 departments in the 420th, right? There's entrenchment, logi, navy, facility. So I just focus whatever department needs like the most help. So this war, it's probably gonna be logi and building mostly. And also, I'm gonna be doing a lot of artillery, like 12 gun, 15 gun batteries.
What do I like? I enjoy Logi, to be honest. I'm a big Logi player. I do enjoy being on the front line, but getting everything organized the way it is for things like Logi is fun. But also other than Logi, tanks.
I mean, I'm kind of like a jack of all trades. I like to do a bit of everything, but I'd say early on, especially like this stuff, backline stuff, helping the supply wise. But I'm a big fan of recon and doing that stuff. Like all the watchtowers you see recently around you, like I put all those up just to give everybody a sense of what's going on, but also just I like intel.
I don't really, and I think that's part of the fun of Foxhole. Like I like doing Logi stuff. I like doing frontline stuff. I like doing front, mid, back line Logi. I like doing facility stuff. And every time I log in, there's different facility heads that are not facility heads, but like heads of different departments that I can plug into the Navy or the frontline shit. Like it's nice to have a regimen where I can log in and I can message a particular person and do a particular kind of job that I'm interested in. And Foxhole has such a variation of different kind of like jobs to do that every time I log in, there's something interesting to engage with.
Nice, man. So you kind of already answered the next question of your main focus in the regiment, but like given you joined like 6 months ago, like did you learn anything new within the regiment?
Oh man, I learned something new every day. So a lot of what I thought I knew going in, even into the last war, War 1, I think is what it was. I was pretty comfortable with the fact building stuff. Obviously I use Foxhole Planner. I do this for a living. And then, the game turns itself upside down on its head when it comes out with this infantry update. So obviously there's always something new to learn when it comes to playing Foxhole, but I learned stuff from, we have different groups that do different things. We got our Navy guys, our guys that do entrenchment, the fact team. So really, I started kind of branching out and learning more about each one of those different facets of the game. How the Navy guys need help from the fact team, how the entrenchment guys can help the fact team build the entrenchment side. I'm still learning a lot of the lingo, but as far as how this all works together, think I've got it pretty down now. We'll see.
You want to know what I've learned? I learned how to have a life with
shit.
a video game that's
Dude's getting philosophical.
Dude, you've seen the Stewart chats.
Oh yeah.
Like, the funniest shit about 420 is that, well, the funniest thing about Foxhole is that, like, this is a game that you can easily look at and go, like, yep, I'm gonna lose my entire social life if I play this. But not in the 420th, which I think is, like, the best thing ever. Because I go out of my way to tell people who overwork themselves, are like, hey, man, have a life. Like, you can literally be the best 420th player by not playing the game.
I learned quite a few things from Hawkeye. Great guy, by the way. He's the entire reason this bunker is, like, the bunker base, the, like, entire perimeter of this is completely secured.
Definitely. I was very, like, coming back into the game after a little hiatus, like, facilities were new to me, and learning that stuff, as well as just, I like that there's always new things coming in the game, and people pick it up quicker and stuff, like, Naval's still new, and, there's already experts on that, so I learned from them. The trains and everything was interesting to pick up and learn. And then same thing with like the airborne coming out next summer. Like there's gonna be a lot of guys that are probably gonna learn it quicker than I will, and it'll be fun to learn from them.
No, dude, I had no idea what 420th was. I joined when I was like a warrant officer 1, so like, I had interacted a little bit with like other clans. I'd been in my other clan, and like, in the other clans and the other regis, there's like a lot of like, sweaty behavior and like gear fear. And so that's what like I had to get over when I first like joined 420th was my gear fear. And that, honestly, I think it's one of the things that made me keep playing Foxhole was just like, I'd get so bummed out about losing a tank, but then at the end of the war there's like 300 400 falchions in the storage depots, so it's like, do I really need to be that bummed out? No, not.
So, just I've been going around with Huskar and Hawkeye today, just how they build these massive bunker complexes, the different nuances that go into exactly the layout. It's insane what they think about.
Yeah.
They're thinking 2 levels ahead of if I even know exist.
What would you say is the most enjoyable experience that you've had with the regiment?
I love the biomass rushes.
There's a beach over by Tempest Island, and I just sat there for an hour fighting over a amphibious landing craft with most of the regiment.
Honestly, you know, a lot of people hate on 420th because of you know, perceived issues with, you know, certain players coming in, and whether looking to the regiment to kind of fix some of these, you know, I guess things that the new players do. You know, whether it's taking a truck by accident, or you know, taking resources they didn't belong to another group, they didn't realize it. One of the things that I really like, especially about the top end leadership, is they stick by our guys. They make sure that they understand, hey, these are the rules. You know, you guys did wrong by another regiment, but you know, don't hold it against them because they're new and they're still learning. You know, a lot of other regiments, when they see stuff like that, they kind of come down hard on guys. Where you know, the upper leadership here is really soft on that stuff. Hey, you're learning, no big deal. Let's show you the ropes, kind of thing. So that's been really enjoyable, is watching the evolution of a new player come into their own, and realize, like, wow, I was really dumb when I started this game. I did a lot of really dumb things, and now they're over here building full-on facilities and, you know, helping out in bigger logistical items. I really enjoy that.
I don't know, just regular Foxhole shit, I guess. I mean,
Uh-huh.
nice being able to like get onto the Discord and organize operations and seeing the same people war after war, and being able to like make those communities and friends. Like I know Foxhole doesn't have a huge community, but it has a die-hard community, and being part of a big regiment allows me to be a small part of that community that is really sticks together. Although I think 420 is actually probably one of the biggest regiments, if not the biggest regiment out there.
Honestly, just the teamwork and, you know, the cooperation, getting a feel of really the whole thing of Foxhole, where you got a group of guys that you can finally do things that you never got to think to do before by yourself. Like, I never thought I'd get a chance to be on a naval ship. I never thought I'd be in a sub. And, you know, being part of the 420th, just random group of guys wanting to do it, and we all got together and do it.
GatorCon.
GatorCon. Okay,
GatorCon.
I know what that was, but can you tell people who may not know what GatorCon is?
It's like, you know, 420th seems like another regiment until we have these events where it feels more like a video games equivalent to a frat party, and it was the best thing ever. Everyone called themselves Gator.
Oh my god. Okay, probably GatorCon.
You're the
or
second person who said that.
115. Yeah, dude, it was the best. We were having a battle royale on a battleship. So we had a battleship, and we filled it with like officer uniforms and gas and like flamethrowers. We all changed our name to Gator, and we just went around the ship like shooting each other. And then in the middle of that, two Warden destroyers pulled up on us, and we had to fight them. Like, we went from like battle royale to like fighting two Warden destroyers. And then we had or I guess they're frigates. And then we had a colonial destroyer pull up, and he helped us, and then we killed both of them and saved both our ships. It was fucking awesome.
Cool, man. Well, last question, and it's an open-ended one, but for the folks that are watching, anything else you want them to know? Anything that you want to touch on that you maybe didn't cover in the interview?
Personally, like, if you're, you know, a vet of the game, or you're new to the game and it kind of seems overwhelming to, you know, go at it alone, we got the 420th tier. If you're welcome to that, you know, there's no requirements, anything like that. So you hop on, and, you know, just you have someone to devote your resources and efforts towards. Or just besides that, just getting in the game all together. It's a fun, unique experience. And for the most part, you know, you get some toxic people here and there, but it's an overall welcoming community.
I would just say, if you want to learn anything, just ask players. Most people will help out. Don't be afraid to ask.
Bro, just join 420th. Like, it's so fucking fun, dude. It's like, we have absolutely everything in this fucking game. Like, squads running simultaneously. We had over 120 people in different squads for War Start. You know, we had Navy, Logi, Frontline, factory. Every single aspect of Foxhole, and there's no orders, there's no requirements. You just come on in, you hop on the chats, you hop in whatever group you want, and you can just help instantly. We don't have any like requirements or like hazing. You just put on the tag and you're one of us. That's the only thing we ask.
If you see Quincy XD, throw a anti-tank sticky grenade at him. He loves it. I have thrown 6 at him so far throughout the time I've known him.
And he loves it every time? He asks for more?
Yep. He just keeps sitting there waiting for more.
No, other than what I would say is if you're looking to get into the Foxhole game, this might be your first experience watching on YouTube or whatever streaming service. The game is very, very regimented when it comes to certain things, but all I could say is pick it up and start playing. Find somebody to just teach you some stuff. Come in and learn. A lot of us enjoy teaching. I think last war, I taught probably 60, 70 people on how to run facility stuff. Some guys that weren't even on our regiment wanted to come by and just learn how to do so don't be afraid to pick up and just pick up the game, start learning and start playing.
I logged in one day and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I bounced around through a few regiments and I still didn't know what I was doing. And when I joined 420th, they really kind of like they have a big focus on being newbie friendly, and even though I had been playing for a while, I felt like I was still a newbie, and they really kind of brought me up and taught me things and let me lead and let me do things that I felt like I really grew, and I enjoyed the game even more after being with them. So 420 is forever. I'm really diehard 420th, even though I kind of like just randomly joined. There wasn't any kind of big speech or anything. It was just a group of people that were willing to take me in and teach me and let me really enjoy the game. And I think that's what we're all here for, right?
They seem like a brilliant group of people. They're just out to have fun, and I can't wait to get stuck in and hit the front lines with some of the fellow 420s.
I got one last question. And it's basically an open-ended one. Like, is there anything else you want to let folks...
Shit! Whoa, 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 whoa!
Oh,
wait,
shit!
We have Gremblo here.
All right, man. So, all right, we've had some good interviews. You are probably gonna be the last one. We'll see if I get some more tomorrow. But just to start us off, so Gator, what got you to lead the regiment? Talk a little bit about the origins.
Well, so we started in Nevish Line, right? And originally, we were running artillery, right? It's important to say, like experiences like me getting shot for shooting 30 mil at infantry, let me know right away, kind of like the attitude of veteran players in the game, which I thought was kind of toxic. So already kind of gaining a little bit of disdain towards like the vets, the salty vet, right? But we were kind of a small group of guys running artillery out of the Skyring belt of Nevish Line, and originally a dude named Raider started what is the regiment, but it was originally the 420th TH, right? But it was a meme, right? So he kind of literally just gave me commander and dipped, and from there I dropped the TH and I put an ST at the end, turning it to the 420th, right? Because 420th was not meme enough, so I wanted to make the acronym and correct the kind of troll, like the people that would be like, oh, we're the 31st or we're the 22nd, right? So I wanted to make it grammatically incorrect to make it even funnier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's funny because I got that, and I'll see people be like, damn, 420s is so illiterate.
Yeah, exactly. Unironically, right? Like they don't know it's a joke.
In terms of just like culture and community, man, like speak to what kind of community you're trying to build up within the regiment, and what kind of culture you're looking to exhibit.
So we got a set of rules, right? Those rules basically are like, it enforces the for the 420th, by the 420th, and 420th first attitude, right? And all the rules like don't basically boil it down to don't be a jerk, right? Don't be racist. Don't be homophobic, right? Outside of that, outside of those parameters, right? Um, anything goes, right? So it's like war chief leadership out there, right? So we have a structure that moderates, right? Everything in the game, as far as like in-game leadership, the newest member could hit the ground running and organize squads. If he motivates people to do shit, right, he could lead an op, right? So, you know, as far as in the game and what we do and what we're able to do, right, everybody has access to everything, right? Leadership is a communal thing, and it's to be passed off, right, and traded off quickly on the fly, right?
Can you talk a little bit about like the current structure when it comes to like not who's in charge necessarily, because you just said like if anybody can get a group of guys together, they can lead an op.
Yeah.
But like from the regiment organization standpoint, I know there's like other heads of different.
So, yeah, so we have a head system, right? And that's the closest thing you get to an authority, right? So everybody goes into their rules with the understanding that it's a stewardship, right? That you're basically shepherding the efforts in whatever it is. So like facility, right? You have the head, right? He is not necessarily absolute, but he's like the head honcho. With facility and logi, right? Those are one things that require like organizing, right? Because otherwise people are just kind of running around without their like chickens with their heads chopped off, right?
So who are the current like regiment heads?
So you got Husker One, right? You got 1 million midgets. You got 3-Leg Terry. You have Moose and myself.
And then how do you guys stay organized in the sense that like, you know, there's hundreds of players under 420th.
Man, it's like controlled chaos, you know? We don't really try that hard to keep things controlled, you know? And with that abstract leadership structure that we talked about, things just kind of take care of themselves, you know? My job is basically just make sure people within the regiment are treating each other right. Occasionally, like I'll intervene when people are causing problems outside of the regiment, right? Like 420s to other regiments, I'll step in those cases. A lot of the bad apples are handled by the in-game reporting system, just because like there's a lot to handle.
Folks that join the regiment, obviously they can hang out, talk. They have the squads and whatnot, right? But there's a Discord link also associated to the 420th, right?
Yep.
Cool.
So you do not get a regiment invite, a Discord invite unless you're in the regiment.
Gotcha.
So that's our only OPSEC in regards to the 420th.
And then can you talk a little bit about if the 420th is more NA focused, EU focused, and then like what time zones or days are most active?
We have a presence throughout the 24 cycle, but we are definitely most active during like NA times. We try to keep things active throughout the week, right? And you know everything's being passed off, right? But we have a culture of like make squads, press F1, spam invite people into those squads, get all those people engaged on a task together.
Anything else that you want to include? Anything you want to talk about or cover for people that are watching?
You know, I love my regiment. You know, I like how this has turned from a group of like, you know, 10 people screwing around in Nevish Line to what it is now. You know, and it's literally alive, right? You know, the regiment multiplies by itself. Like I used to do all the recruiting. Now I couldn't like keep up with recruiting to save my life. Like it just happens. And it's just organic and everything just works by itself. It's great.
And last question, speaking of recruitment, so if people are interested in joining, what's the best way for them to get added to the regiment?
Walk up to any 420th and ask to join. We will give you an invite right then and there.
Appreciate it,
Thank you,
dude.
Gremblo.
For the regiment operations section of the video, I've actually already been a part of 2 ops with the 420th and created videos about my experience. You can check both of those videos out on screen, and I put links to them down in the description. So we've reached the conclusion of the video, and before I give my final thoughts, I just wanted to thank Gator and everyone else in the 420th for participating in the interviews and including me in their operations. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, this series is meant to be my way of showing appreciation for the community, and I hope to continue making more videos like this in the future. If you're part of a regiment and would like to be featured in one of the regiment review videos, make sure you're sharing this video with your regiment leaders. If you're already a leader of a regiment, feel free to reach out to me directly through Discord and we'll schedule your regiment review. You can do that by joining my Discord channel down in the description below. Right now for War 119, I'm on the Colonial faction, so for any Warden regiments that are interested in signing up, reach out and I'll get you slotted in when I fight alongside the Wardens during War 121. So in terms of my final thoughts on the 420th, some of the best moments and fun I've had in game have been fighting alongside these guys. And I think a lot of it stems from one shared viewpoint. Foxhole is a game that we're focusing on having fun with. A lot of players fall into this trap of treating Foxhole like a second job, and to 1 Million Midgets' point, they get gear feared and freak out at other players if a tank or expensive ship gets destroyed. As somebody who tries to avoid players like that who react with anger when these types of vehicles get destroyed, it's great to see regiments like the 420th that focus on the fun aspects of the game and giving players the opportunity to try out as much content with little worry on if an operation is successful or if that expensive BT they were grinding for gets destroyed by a crew of corporals and sergeants. It's been mentioned by some of the folks during the interview section, but it's no secret that not everyone views the 420th positively. Some players have negative experiences, others just see the regiment tag and immediately assume the worst. All I can do is share my experiences and show you the kind of 420th regiment I see. And what I see are a group of people who have built a welcoming community focused on having fun together. I feel like if you're a new player that's looking to try out all the different kinds of content that Foxhole has to offer in a low stakes environment with an emphasis on having fun, then I definitely recommend the 420th Regiment. And that concludes the first Foxhole Regiment review. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to the channel for more Foxhole related content. And as always, take care and I'll see you all in the next one.
We gon' hump them, we gon' suck their dicks off. We gon' hump them, we gon' suck their dicks off.
It's about dick, it's about penis. Men are from Mars, but I'm from Venus. Put it in the butt, spick him in the shower, and take what's ours. I want to drain the main vein, prostate massage so insane until you scream, I'm so motherfucking gay.
When we gonna fuck though?
Masturbation, ejaculation, slinging lots of semen to the masses.